This is day 878 of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. If you'd like to sponsor coming share or more of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi, please contact me directly. It would be very greatly appreciated. Today we're doing Simon Tuf Kuf Ein Gimel Aleph to Tuf Kuf Ein Hey Gimel. Tuf Kuf Ein Gimel. But Hilchos Butler Megillas Tainis. The halacha is that all the minor holidays and fast days mentioned in Megillas Tainis no longer apply. Av Eitzah Tanoim Kadmonim by the ancient Tanoim, the earlier Tanoim, Hoysam Megillas Tainis, there was a Sefer called Megillas Tainis, which you can still get a hold of today. So Kosh Baruch also Nisim Yisrael. Here's what Kosh Baruch did Nisim for Am Yisrael. We also Yomim Asurim Basri times those who have been into be involved in eulogies and in fasting time. Rosh Hashanah Yom Elok Surim Gil's Tainis. These days which are enumerated in Gil's Tainis. Bamazan Shabbos Mikdash Chaim Bamazman Shabbos Mikdash Enukaim Asurim Divra Meir. Meir holds are also to fast on, whether they are Beis Mikdash is extant or not. The Yosef Meir is mancha is mancha in Beis Mikdash Chaim Mutar. Beis Mikdash does not exist. Then you're allowed to fast in these days. Rabbi Yosef, Rabbi Yossi, Pasuk Shasham, the Yosef of the Butler Megillas Tainis, Lachas Megillas Tainis no longer applicable. Levad, with one or two exceptions, Chanukah, Purim. Shlosi Saz Ben Batzai now to fast on the day themselves. Of name Achreim, Utarim is Manazeh. When Megillas Tainis was in effect, you're also allowed to fast the day before and the day after. Yom Tov enumerated Megillas Tainis in order to fortify them. Chanukah Purim begin fast the day before and the day after. Avocat is my Mikdash Yisurim. We don't have basically also Megillas Tainis Gam B'Yomim Elu Mutorim. Well, that's actually Avocat is my Mikdash Yisurim. Mikdash you're not allowed to. Now you are. Megillas Tainis Gam B'Yomim Elu Mutorim. And all Megillas Tainis even the day themselves. You can set a fast. Kosher name Achim so before and after them. Okay, Shabbos Yom Tovim Rosh Chodashim Shabbos Yom Rosh Chodesh Mutorim Lisanos Ben Livnei Ben Achim. Fast the day before and the day after. Zeafilu Bezman HaMikdash. That's even the time Beis Mikdash. The time of the meal so Chenu. It's like we just mentioned. The reason is Desh also Bezman HaMikdash. Megillas Tainis Lisanos that which they forbade. Time Beis Mikdash existed to fast on these days. Livnei Achim before and after them. So as to fortify those days themselves. That is relevant to the Rabbanan days which require chizuk. Shabbos for Yontif of Rosh Chodesh. I mean, Torah so it's not so. Shabbos Yontif of Rosh Chodesh where so it has to be the Raisa to fast on them. Called the Raisa lo by chizuk, and the Raisa does not require fortification. The bracket says here Rosh Hashanah Sham the Sham before Rosh Chodesh the Raisa and Sham and so Simon Tav Kuf Ayin the Tzarich Iyun. It's a question whether what Rosh Chodesh means the Raisa actually means, since there are fasts which Tanei Sadiqim for the Rosh Chodesh. So the Rosh Chodesh thing is a bit murky. Base Kasar Ben Rama Mishi Yeshlu Lisuim B'Chanukah En Lisano, somebody who has a chasna on Chanukah, a chasan does not fast, even though the custom is to fast the chasna. Avim Yeshlu Lisuim Ben Nisan. He is getting married in Nisan. Misai B'Yochel Paso. He fasts on the day of his chuppah. Afil Rosh Chodesh Nisan. Even Rosh Chodesh Nisan. Mnei Shehem Shemis Ayim. Because it comes to Taf Kuf Pei because it's one of Taniyos Sadiqim. Again, Rosh Chodesh, right? So that's why it's in the previous sif. Akal Shon. Chem Lag B'Omer Shlosh L'Me'ak Bola. Lag B'Omer, the 3 days preparation for Shlosh. Then Yom Kippur Sukkot. Misanim. It's going to obviously be you don't say Tachim Yom Kippur and Sukkot. Not referencing after Sukkot, because as a lift back, I'm guessing that the Rosh Hashanah said after Sukkot till Rosh Chodesh. The came in a minute. All these days are minhagim, not strict letters of the law. Tu B'Shvat came to Gemara. Ema Misani. The Esruchag, Tu B'Av, and Tu B'Shvat are mentioned in Gemara as days of celebratory days. So therefore, you don't fast if you're chosin on those days. If I recall correctly, the reason is because Chasen goes into chuppah, all of his averos are atoned for, and you have to be worthy of that atonement, so therefore you fast. Tough kufayin dalit. I don't think it's 5 minutes fast. They have the chuppah only Ashkenazim. Tough kufayin dalit. Shalosim b'tani schumrei makom sheyatzim misham v'lo shalach l'sham. By time we give you the severities of the place from where you came and the place to which you went. If only Mokum Shem Messiah, somebody's going to a place where they're fasting. Mokum Shem Messiah to a place where they're not fasting. He wasn't at all in the city when they accepted the fast. I guess he's going back to his own place. Ain Natani's Chal of Cloud Tainis does not take effect upon him at all. I'm sorry, the way no, we got it wrong. Again, going from a place where they are fasting to a place where they're not fasting. Okay, so the place where you're going, they're not actually fasting. If you not in that city when they were mikabel the tinus, anytime it's of cloud. In other words, no, I still got it wrong. Means the city where they enacted tinus was not your city. The Arukh HaShulchan is phrasing is leaves something to desire here, but he's saying that if you are not the city where they're mikabel tinus is not your city. You just happen to be there, right? So loya beiro means you weren't that city which you went with the guards of the tinus was not your city. Okay, so anytime it's called tinus does not take effect on them at all. It's not relevant to say, well, he left the place that's tinus, you just have to fast. And then he goes to Mishnah here. They can't. They don't. The Xer was on the city. Now for some reason, not outside the city. You have beiro, the shosha goes to the tinus. But if he was in his own city when there was the tinus, the gamu kibo of a tinus, and accepted upon himself the tinus, chayv lisanos lashlim, he has to fast and make of the series, whatever it is, complete the series. I feel ain't that even though he doesn't mind to go back to his own city. But he was in the city when the city was a kabbal tinus, and he himself not accepted explicitly upon himself. That now depends if he has a mind to go back. If he does have a mind to go back, it's to include in them. And he placed upon him the chumas of the place in which he came. He has to fast and complete the series. If he doesn't have a mind to go back to that city, it's not devolved upon him. Anything else where we don't give you the chumas of a place where you have no intent to go back to there. Mishmur says this facility where the tinus is for tshuva or for a sorah, where the tinus was decreed because of some previous pogrom or something, like Chav Sivan in Poland, then you don't need Kabbalah, and even as Makabal himself personally, he has to fast wherever he finds himself in the world, unless he has no das to go back to that place where Chav Sivan was a fast. The brackets of Shulchan says Zem Vorin Divrei Rashi. That's the Tainis Yud. Rashi B'Yeshua Mechumrei Makom. The Tainis B'Yeshua I feel ain't daito lachsor. Rashi's Mechumrei Makom says even if he does have mind to go back, for pliig much kosavnu there's no machlekes. Depends if he was makabel the Tainis personally or not. Not makabel the Tainis personally, then ain't daito lachsor. Especially if he has das lachzor, no. So again, it's the tinus when they're a city, he has to make the fast. It's a fast series, even if he ain't daito lachzor. If he wasn't makabel the fast when they're in the city, then he ain't daito lachzor. He doesn't have to continue fasting. Base. Somebody is going from a place that they're not fasting, places that are fasting. Came there on the day of the fast. Medina ain't daito lachzor lochol of a tinus club. According to Shiglev Lo, if he doesn't have mind to go back, the time does not affect him at all. Somebody can't eat while he's still there. They show you fresh in his but not separate himself from the community. Nevertheless, since he wasn't a Kalban until the fast, if you let him in air, he leaves the city, goes outside the chum of the city. He can eat and doesn't have to complete the fast. But in the city, and it's chum is now allowed to eat even in private. He has to be involved, participate in the anguish of the congregation of the kila. But if the Torah passed, even though the Christian may not be allowed to eat because they already started the fast, but he is allowed to eat with tzina. Which brings some machlokes about this and does not render a decision. If he doesn't mean to go back to his place, original place, presumably he intends to stay here. The tinus does devolve upon him, even if it's outside the chum of the city. I guess I'm not sure what defines the vicinity then. Don't know. I feel over a Torah, even the Torah passed. That's like the chumrah of the place where he's going. The Shabura says the people who are makel, even if Ein Daito Lachzer is outside the Tchum. But that's evidently, the Must talk about case from Moshe Bishbur's language that it says if he left the Tchum. So it must be the Arukh HaShulchan saying once you entered the city, then even if you go out Mechutz Tchum, it's not, you still have to pass. Not if you're within 2,000 hours of the city but never enter the city, you have to fast. I mean, not if you're more than 2,000 hours away from the city, you never enter the city, you have to fast. So they indict the law. So no, you have to have been in the city. And then, even if you go outside 2,000 hours, you have to continue fasting because ain't that the last, it's the original place. So it became on the day of the fast. Not previously when they were makabel the tinies. You came previously. It was there when they were makabel tinies. Chayav the kabel of a tinies. That's for himself. The tinies chayav l'shnimo has completed kadesh lo yifrosh tzibur, nor not to separate himself from the community. May does ein chiluk bein ba'ir bein chutz tchum. So then there's no distinction whether he's in the city or outside the tchum. Bein dato lachso, whether he had in mind to go back, or bein ein dato lachso, didn't have in mind to go back. He was kabel of a tinies. It's his kabel of the tinies. When Nami Loki Bell loved, it wasn't a makabel. The daito lachso, having in mind to go, to leave. Ain't a tinies of the tinies is not the power upon him. Mishnah Berurah says, see, the Taz, his opinion is that even when Makabel Ferush, since you're there, the Tzibur was a Makabel, may mainly include in the Tainis, even though you have mind to go back, and now it's even outside the Tchum. Eliyah Rabbah says the same thing. Obviously, much from Machman, the Arukh HaShulchan, who says that as long as you're not Makabel as part of their Kabbalah, it's not Chal upon you. Be as it may, according to Arukh HaShulchan, they also the Chol Abif name. If you weren't Makabel, it's not allowed to eat from that. Bayir b'tchuma in the city and its tchum. Makom she'enu le'achom nei ishtatfus im hatzibur. A place you're not supposed to eat because you want to participate with the tzibur. V'lo midina. It's not because of the letter of the love shalach b'achal. You forgot and you ate. Al yisra b'fneim ki lo achal. You should not then present yourself in front of them as if you ate. But he got somebody doing and he can do that, so you should not pamper yourself. Lamar hoel v'chatimat ochal beis. It's ate a little bit. I eat a lot. It's like a sik miyakshis car. Gotta stop immediately when you remember. Even outside the chum, you should not pamper yourself. Like just eat in order to sustain the soul. You shouldn't have delicacies in eating and drinking and other types of pleasures. Since for a person to famish himself in a year of a famine, in order to be included and participate in the Torah of the community. In every Torah, it's a mitzvah to join together the community. And if you can save them, you should save them. If not, you should take it to you should participate in their anguish. Only if they're in a makom sakana, you don't have to put yourself into a makom sakana with them. It's interesting what he says, though, that if there's no benefit from the tzibur, it sounds like if there's a benefit for the tzibur, there might be some sort of obligation for you to put yourself in that place of sakana in order to be able to help the tzibur. A person should not have marital relations during years of famine, except for the night his wife goes to the mikveh. Also somebody who does not have children, or doesn't even have a son and a daughter, mutter. There's those who say to Tosfos that this is only a midas chasidus and not strict law. So therefore, if you're not really able to withhold yourself, so you shemesh, have relations. That concept of famine, as they had back in the old times, it's not so prevalent today. Fasting in is Eretz Yisrael on rain. Aleph. Oh, I skipped something here. The Mishnah Berurah says in the Magen Avraham says that even on Leil Tefillah, in those places where there's a famine, you should not have relations. Agree you can rely on the Shulchan Aruch who's makel, especially if it's not a year of true famine, but other types of travails, you can certainly be makel on Leil Tefillah. Okay. Back to the Tov Kuf Hey. Aleph. Seder Tanyoshi Misani Eretz Yisrael. The order of fast in Eretz Yisrael on rain kachi is the way you do it. Is Manches Geshom Eretz Yisrael Hu B'Zayin Mar Cheshvan. Time when they start saying Saint Talmud Livracha and Eretz Yisrael is on the 7th day of Cheshvan. Or Zal Simon Kuf Yud Zayin. If the rain has not yet started coming down yet, as Mantinim ad Yud Bo. Wait till the 17th. Until that time, there's not going to be any problem yet with the produce for that year. If the 7th day of Cheshvan comes and the rain has yet started, fast the following Monday, Thursday, and Monday. All students, all Chachamim are super for this, not just the great Talmud Chacham. If he knows how to respond halacha on any topic, it's not clear whether it means any topic or every topic. Here means every topic. You have to fast. If you haven't reached this meetup, you're not required. Nevertheless, if you want, you can be included in the Talmidei Chachamim. It's not guy, but it's not arrogant or prideful to fast for rain. But generic people, they can't fast because they shouldn't include themselves in the Chachamim. So I'm not sure who he says im rotza. I guess it means somebody who's learned but not a full-time Chacham. Interesting. There's an opinion that anybody can fast. These fast, not just Chachamim. We don't hold that way. We learned that in terms of Malach and Tishbav, every person can make himself Talmid Chacham and not do work. In terms of work, there are many people who don't work. There's some places where nobody works. Anyway, no matter what stature they have. Also, it's not taking such significance to oneself. But the tiniest which is set for Talmid Chacham only, there is gaiva. So, interesting. Also, you're considering yourself worthy, your tefillah should be accepted. Therefore, you should not do this. Okay. It says the brackets, I'm going to run. Obviously, Magaram has some other approach to this. Base the Tanaisim Elohim Katanis Yochid, Bliab Sokam, Ibod Yom. These fasts are like the Tanaisim individual. You don't refrain from eating from before the nightfall. There's no severity of a public fast. They Shadain Einatir Kusham Gdoko, because there's not yet a great lack of rain. I mean, you get Rosh Chodesh Kislev Loyduk Shem, but Rosh Chodesh Kislev comes, it's not no rain yet. Basically goes in Rosh Shanios Kolat Tzibor Sheni B'Chamish Sheni. Basically increase the fast for everybody. Monday, Thursday, Monday. All the people come to big shul, mispalim, and they daven, mizakim, and they cry out, mischananim, and they supplicate. As we do in all other fasts, in Kriyas Slichal, Vanenu, Babinu Makenu. The whole kid and caboodle. Vadain enim l'k'tai tzibur, still like k'tai tzibur, last yibod yom, p'yushem machir no tzibur kokach. You don't make the tzibur at this point go to such an extent, so therefore they can eat the night before. And besides that, they're still. Yeah, sorry. But there's still an 8, so the grain produce is not necessarily ruined for the year. If these fasts pass and they didn't get a positive answer from Shemaim, it hasn't rained enough. Basically goes into basically makes another 3 fasts. Monday, Thursday, Monday. These fasts you have to stop eating from the day before nightfall. Come over Tisha B'Av. We don't make much of Tosefes on Yom Kippur, so I'm not sure exactly what the big gain is. A few seconds. Anyway, it doesn't require Tosefes. It's no more than Tisha B'Av. But twilight is also, it's after the sunset, it's also like Tisha B'Av. Same by Masiyas Machanal do Malacha. B'yom during the day, nor at night. I forgot Tisha B'Av totally even though Tisha B'Av depends on the minhag. These tanios are not above Tisha B'Av. Tzrichim, but Shatzino says, "Leim Maasim Shebidem." Pay attention to the deeds in their which in their hands, because something's wrong. Be'achreach shelo yasu melacha b'yom they can't do melacha during the day. They look well or night. You look and you chew them because then they'll be struck by the work. Lo yitnu el libam fakeacham, saying they won't pay proper attention to their deeds. Vasir mechitzas kol gvul chamin out to wash your entire body without water. If you'll notice mechatzos, therefore you lock the bathhouses. Of upon of the other varagel b'chamin chol gufa b'tzonim mutar. But your hands, your face, hands, and feet, you're allowed to wash in hot water. You're allowed to wash your entire body in cold water. Kilub zem tishbav is in this respect, it's more lenient tishbav. There's kosher atzibur lios shloshim and blah blah. It's hard to go Monday, Thursday, Monday without this. Vasir mesicha now to anoint yourself el via zuma, except to remove any dirt. That's have a tishbav in terms of anointing with oils. It's like tishbav. Because you can go a few days without anointing yourself. A swim bam tashimito tishbav now to have relations like a tishbav. Cheser mina sasani also know how to wear shoes, but here in the city, tishbav like a tishbav is spelling, but they can asios. Yidam and shul mischanin, and you supplicate. Kibushat anios like other fasts. Famous even brachas. But tefillah ela b'nei bilbad. At this point, you still don't add tefillos into the davening, only the tefillah b'nei like a standard fast.